Let's talk about this trailer because holy cow! If you know my channel, you know that my recent uploads are much more about my audience, meaning you watching this video, and my thoughts on your particular taste. But Hoyoverse really made it so that after I watched this video, I was literally blown out of the water and had to pause my judgment to examine further. So excuse me for a moment as I dig into this trailer like an MLA teacher reading way too much into the green light in The Great Gatsby. Of course, we have to begin with the title. Oh, Genshin and their funny titles. Now, the title for Furina's demo is All the World's a Stage, which just happens to be a Shakespeare reference. I am so sorry to bring attention that I am indeed a nerd and knew this off the cuff. The quote is from the first line of a speech from As You Like It that depicts the passing of life and the experiences of man as if it were in 7 stages. The speech begins with all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. And the speech also ends with, last scene of all, that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Ew, gross. Twig reading. I know. But listen, I think Genshin knew exactly what they were doing with this, especially since they have been known to hide meanings and references in titles. In this particular case, I think the title hints even more to the inevitability of the prophecy mentioned various times in the recent quest. Not to mention Furina's own naivety in her worldview. This coupled with the literal interpretation of Furina putting on a show herself is genius, leaning into this metaphor in a way that you could almost overplay the speech over the trailer and have it make sense. I would also like to point out the fact that the announcer in the beginning first introduces Furina as a celebrity and an Archon second. I think this could be a reflection of her internal dialogue, as we've seen her insecurities time and time again, but this is also a literal choice. God, Hoyoverse is putting my mind to spaghetti with all of this. We are 20 seconds into the trailer. Furina is described as an endless solo of solitude, which is exasperated by her being alone on stage for the entire duration of the demo. The only co-stars she brings with her are the creations of her own, which makes me wonder if they could be considered imaginary friends she's created, much like a kid who's left alone but still wants to play. We are then called back to a reference to silent movies, when Hoyoverse depicts a scene where Furina's heroic, yet Furina never actually fights in the scene, which is interesting, only bowing to a seal and summoning her creatures to fight for her as she herself performs, bowing again to take the applause, then introducing said creatures. Again, Furina deludes herself into thinking she's made progress, while Clorind, who in this entire sequence can see the reality of the situation, she seems confused and disappointed. We move on to Furina. It seems to be a reference to trapeze, but she instead swings as if she were on a regular swing. She sings as people from Sumeru, Mondstadt, Inazuma, and Liyue watch in silence, only to be distracted when she throws money at them. I don't have any clue what this could mean. I know there's something there, as if she distracts with something flashy when she's being perceived too much, but I'm not sure what it could be, honestly. We get a change of pace where Furina's seemingly being photographed at the end of her show by Charlotte in multiple places, including a combat sequence where Furina seems more interested in looking nice than hitting her opponents, again stalling progress. This quickly devolves though, as Furina seems to create her own plot with cameras, this time harking back to the film reference. These uncharacteristic clips come in a sequence, Tartaglia running down the stairs from a bunch of menacing Melazines, Navia looking smug as she arrests Nouvelette of all people, a funny image that I will forever cherish if I'm honest. Lynette outside of a cage presenting while Liney being the one underwater, Furina helping Fremine with his diving helmet, and a duel between Worthussy and Clorind in the Pancration Ring. She assembles all the stories in her picture book and then marvels as her actors all come in to create chaos around her for a finale. This was when I first realized something integral to Furina's character. It isn't that Furina doesn't care about the prophecy. She is genuinely clueless. She has spent her life shrouded in stage lights and power, and she literally can't see the conflicts around her as they happen. All the chaos, all the odd pictures and scenes. She can't tell what's happening and deludes herself into thinking she's in a silly game, one where her friends fight for her and one where her pupils are watching her in awe, not expectation. Amidst the chaos, she dances and eats her cake while Clorinde and Navia try their best to sort things out for the good of the people. Through this essay, I've struggled for words other than childish to describe her character, and I think that's by Hoyoverse's design. Furina deludes herself, bringing a larger-than-life mask to issues that require action, swaying her disciples and gaining their support through showmanship. And she knows she's failing them because why else present yourself this way? Why compensate with charisma if you have something to show? Furina is insecure and inexperienced. She seeks comfort like a child in these daydreams. It's only a question on when or if she'll wake up to the world around her. But that's about all I have. I appreciate you watching this video this far. I normally don't do videos like this, especially videos structured like this. But if you're interested in getting judged by me, or if you're interested in watching more of me, I have more shit on my channel for you to enjoy. I also have merch, so if you're a long-time watcher or you're just someone who wants to support me, there's a link in the description. I appreciate you once again for watching. I'll see you next week. Goodbye!